school like percolator, and it boils up and over, kind of like an old mocha pot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 445 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast. My name is Brad Odell, coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and of course 97.9 FM CHSR in beautiful Fredericton, New Brunswick. And with me, as always, is
the shockingly contented king of paintball.
Can't hear a word you're saying, bud.
Reek. Bois.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having technical difficulties. Bear with us while we sort this out.
Bradley?
In the meantime,
this is not on me.
How about? Where's our guest?
I'm back.
There he is. There he is.
Sorry, it disconnected for some reason.
Hold on.
Bradley, why do you hate me?
No, we're all good. I can hear you now. We're all fixed up.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Technical difficulties have been.
I was content, and now I'm cantankerous because my partner's still saying operate the booth after a year.
Listen. In my defense, it's not much of one, but in my defense,
you have to follow that statement up usually with something.
Well, you know, I'm still getting used to somebody else being in the booth before me. That is kind of messing with your juju. Because when I normally, like for the past year, I'd come in, the booth was set to 0.
Nice. Right?
Like everything's off, except for Sam, Sam is the automated system. So I would come in, I'd mute Sam, bring us up, problem solved. But like with him, it's kind of like, I don't know which way I'm going, left, right, center.
Okay.
So anyways, Tom, how about you start with your bit, and then
my spiel is that it is coming. The time is coming. Beautiful, glorious D-Day is coming in only 2 weeks. We're going to be making our way. Actually, 2 weeks tonight. We'll be on our way. At this time, we'll be broadcasting, hopefully digitally in the truck as we tow Norm to Quebec for the first leg of our adventure.
Exciting.
Hyped. It's going to be a blast. So thank you as always to Commando for helping us out to come visit them. We always enjoy coming to harass the people. Another good weekend at Moncton Paintball last weekend. Had a good game. It was good. It was nice to get out and play. So always get out there and check out Moncton Paintball. We love those guys. They fixed me up for ages, and frankly, it is my home away from home. If I'm not sitting here on my couch, I'm probably out there playing some ball.
Which is where
be a mensch, buy some quench. Use our promo code Maritime
Paintball Podcast. All one word. Save yourself 15%. Save yourself the taxes, folks. The taxes.
The king's taxes.
The king's taxes.
No, they're not my taxes. They're the prime minister's taxes. They're not my taxes. Whoa. We bounced for that reason. The king does not tax people for that stuff. I bring goodness and love to the people of Paintballia. Anyways, what else have we got tonight? We've got some great company with Beaver Paintball coming hanging out with us. Tell us about his event.
He's here to talk about his event. Actually, why don't we one more thing though.
Housekeeping.
One more thing of housekeeping is Intensity Customs. Please go check them out. They're gonna have some cool stuff. I can't say what it is.
I know
there's gonna be some cool stuff.
I tried. I was sending him messages with ideas for shirts. He was shooting a lot of things down because I was sending him stuff and he's like, I'm not doing that for you. Get out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he made my jersey, to be honest. I'm really happy. He's Sean's dope guy. Also, I'm wearing my C1D shirt today. So nice. I felt like wearing something pretty. I wanted to wear someone else's colors tonight. Go and check out Intensity's trailer when if you see them anywhere, go and check them out and maybe give Sean a gentle tap on the posterior for me. It won't do anything. It'll probably get you thrown out. But
you might get a throat punch, but whatever.
Maybe a discount. You never know how it's going to go.
He is the gentlest of souls. I can't imagine him doing anything of the sort. Anyways. Moving along. What have we got, Bradley?
I was going to say, Beaver, why don't you introduce yourself, man? Explain to the people who you are, why you're here, and why we're talking with you. Because I'm sure
most people probably know who I am who watch podcasts. You've seen me shoot people with my SAR 12 hundreds of times, or run and gun with the EMF, playing for the Immortal Army. and more recently for the Gravekeepers. And a lot of you know me because I host 2 game series, the Raid series, which was more competitive, more intense, more difficult MagFed. But then I wanted to throw a second game that was a little bit more introductory to MagFed only games. So I built up Operation Outlanders, which is actually based on a conquest mode from the old Battlefield games. And it's last year was pretty good. We had a pretty big turnout, a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to get like 40, 50 players. So I planned for 40, 50 players. And we had just under 100, I think, or just over 100 around there.
That,
so was,
love that. That's
minty.
Yeah. So it was great. We took it from the smaller field, which is Georgina Paintball, and we brought it over to the compound. They were nice enough, the airsoft field, to let us bring a couple MagFed games there this year. So we're bringing it to the compound. Got a lot more space. Got 200 acres of play for everybody, and that field is excellent. If you haven't been, you have to check it out.
I really want to try and get out there.
We're kind of stuck right now because there's the Operation Honey Badger at the compound is the same day as Canadian Legends. So Tom's like, I kind of want to go to the compound, and I'm like, I kind of want to go get my ass kicked at Canadian Legends.
And then meanwhile, they kind of want to try and get a little something going on here in New Brunswick for a bigger game, and it all kind of fell on the same weekend. So it's been
so that's been postponed to next year.
I think they'll still run a little something. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know Moncton's got something up their sleeve for this summer to bring some new faces out to come and harass us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I really want to go because like the compound would be so much fun, and Honey Badger would be a lot of fun. The raid, I've been to Honey Badger. I still wanted to get to a raid game because every time I'd see pictures, it looked like you guys were having a ball.
It's the most intense game I've ever seen. And like, I've only ever technically played in a raid as like an NPC player. And even from the NPC player, I was like, this is stressful. This is insane.
There's a lot going on.
But, the compound is a whole different beast. There's vehicles on the field, like full-size roads. There's command posts. There's full-size village to play through. 200 acres of woods that are built up with trenches throughout. It's one of the most difficult maps I've ever played on, and that's saying something considering how many games we played at PRZ. Like, that was a difficult and complicated map, and the compound is just built to just beat you to death before you even see another player, because you have no idea who's around the next corner, or who's shooting at you from across the field or from the second story of a church. It's insane. It's so much fun.
It sounds like a blast.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah.
So
because the legend of PRZ, if you know, I can't imagine someplace being, more of that, because it was already bad enough kind of wandering, kind of ambling my way across that field. So even bigger is even scarier for a not so skinny gentleman.
Yeah. That's why they got the vehicles. It's fine. You just jump in the back of the Jeep and they'll take you across the field.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, that's the way to do that.
So walk us through your event there, Beaver. Walk us through what you're doing exactly. What's the
all right?
So give us all the details.
Outlanders is more of a traditional conquest. The defenders will start at one of the command posts, and then they have to attack checkpoint 1 first. Defenders can choose to either spawn at their command post on the other side of the field if they need a break or whatever, or they can spawn at checkpoint 1. If they get hit from checkpoint 1, then they can no longer spawn there. They got to go back to checkpoint 2. If they get hit there, they got to go back to checkpoint 3. So it's going to continuously make the game progress forward. And then as the attackers take a checkpoint, the attackers can then spawn at their forward checkpoint. To switch it up a little bit, I've got a bunch of little gold cases out there with perks inside of them. They got stuff like the Juggernaut, So player brings it back to the general gives it out to a player, they throw a high vis on, and they have a ref escort with them, and they're immune for 5 minutes. They just get to walk the field and light some players. There's scout perks. So another same sort of thing. You're immune, but you can't carry a marker. You can't throw smokes. You can't do anything, but you can have your radio. You can yell, and you can just go scout for 5 minutes without being able to be killed, which is huge. The classic airstrikes, helicopter drops. We brought in a new one that I thought up. It's a smoke screen. So we provide the player that finds and uses that perk with 2 smoke grenades, and they tell the ref where he wants the ref to walk over and drop them. So you're just
that's
like,
cool.
I want the smoke here, and I want the smoke here, and the ref goes, drops them, walks away, and it's like a perfect grenade toss. It switches things up a little bit. On top of that,
for that once in a while.
Yeah. And then on top of that, there'll be missions throughout the day as well. So it's not so much just the conquest portion. There's going to be another aspect for it. So we have a little something for everybody. There's just the face-to-face conflict that some players like. There's the scavenger players to go out and find all the perks because they're just going to be scattered throughout the whole field. And then there's the mission-based players. We got some missions out there too to kind of slow them down.
Nice, yeah. So you get something for Bradley and something for me.
Yeah,
Little bit of goodness for both of us, so that I can kind of do missions and play mission game, and Bradley can just go and shoot people. That's
the best way to do it. That's gotta have
you've
a little
always
bit
got
of
that
everything
guy,
for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, and it's always fun, anyways. I mean, when's it not fun to shoot at your friends?
Yeah, it's always fun, always a good time.
It's one of the comments there from Led. Said, problem with some MagFed games is they're more complicated than real world operations. Keep it simple, more fun that way. So what are you doing to make sure that you don't end up with arguments because people going, well, the rule said this in page 2, section 4, subsection 3, I can do X, Y, Z because the sun is coming from the east. Like, how do you keep them from arguing? Like, how do you make sure your refs know what needs to be done and what needs to be set up properly?
So I do have a public Google Doc with the comprehensive rules guide, and it's not very long at all. It's pretty much bullet points. It's if your team reaches 10 players or 5 players, then you can assign someone to be a medic, heavy gunner, shield player, or a drone operator for every 5 people. So it's very basic, very simple. The rules for the medics are super simple and basic. You can buddy crawl with somebody who's hit. If you get hit, you're down for 45 seconds. No one heals you. You're out. Same with the shield rules. Classic, the 3x4 shields. They cannot be healed by medics. Same with heavy gunners. Can't be healed by medics. I just wanted to keep it like Led said, like as simple as possible. Last year we had pretty much no questions throughout the whole day. Everyone's like, yeah, we're just attacking checkpoints. We get it. You just rush the checkpoint, and to capture a checkpoint, if there's not a mission out and about,
right,
you just get 5 guys within the circle, and you have to hold it for 2 minutes consecutively. So you have to hold down the enemy.
Okay.
It's super simple. I wanted to keep it as basic as possible because my other game is as complicated as possible.
There you go. I love it. Yes. First of all, that's being just brutally honest. Yes, the other game is complicated, but if you're there, I don't want to hear any pissing and moaning. It's too complicated.
No,
the rules,
and
guys. The rules are
like
there.
The raid series, all the refs, I hand them a booklet, and I'm like, anything they could possibly ask you should be in this book, and if it's not, tell them they can't do it. Don't want to deal with it. Okay.
There you go.
That works.
Yeah.
That works.
I support that system completely, and I like that you give your refs. You've just given your refs the unilateral. This is it.
Yeah.
No. It's the end of it.
Yeah.
No.
Like it's just like
and nobody.
Is it? Yeah. Can I do this? Is it in the book? No. Then go away. No, you can't do it.
Yeah. This isn't actually D&D, and this isn't Formula 1. We're not looking to break the rules. We're looking to have fun. If you're a min-maxer, this probably isn't for you.
Yeah, and it's and most of the people pretty much don't question the refs because I tell everyone, I'm like, you argue with a ref, you're off the field. Basic. You cheat, you're off the field. Don't want to see it. Okay.
It's pretty simple. I mean, I'm a simple kind of man, but that seems like some pretty basic. Yeah. I like a lot of places that have the "don't be a dick" rule. It's a great rule it's a great rule in life, kids. So suggestions, right?
And it's so easy to follow.
That's the
Do
big
you want
one,
to be mag dumped? No, just don't mag dump the guy. Just it's basic.
He's a little crotchety. It's like 35 degrees out here, and he's in full gear. Don't be a douche.
Yeah, exactly.
Life's going to be better for everybody.
Yeah, it's Blair question refs? Question mark? Don't question the refs. And you can argue with them while you're walking off the field doing what they told you to do. Like,
chirp them all the way off the field, but do exactly what you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's what I've done. I've had that happen. This was a speedball match. I got called out, and I was just like, "This is garbage, man. You should have done this way before." And I don't even understand. I'm walking away from him, off the field.
The ref's call's final. I will accept it.
But I'm getting angry.
I'm going to be upset about it.
Yeah. This is and then immediately after the match, he's just like, I don't know, man. I was like, whatever, it's fine, it's fine.
It's okay. We're off the field now. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
I vented on my way. It's good. Yeah. Ref has last word. Absolutely. Yes, ref has last word.
French, explore French.
There was something I was going to say. I cannot remember what it was going to be. No, I lost it. So are there any surprises? Anything? Are you doing anything like quote unquote like experimental, breaking the mold, that kind of thing? What's going on with this event? Anything in particular that you're very proud of? Or
so the biggest experimental part of it was the way you get the perks. I've never really seen a game where you just find the perks on the field. It's always like you got to go buy them or trade in points for them, or you get them for achieving something. And I'm just like, we'll just throw this box out here with a letter in it, and it tells you what to do. All right, it seems more fun this way.
Just throw a little chaos into it. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's more fun this way.
Oh, absolutely. But again, I've never made any secret that I love theme. I love a good theme. So,
let's give a little bit more detail about the compound, because it's kind of dawning on me that maybe a lot of people don't know what the compound is, because we haven't had anybody from the compound actually on the show. So you mentioned vehicles and wide roads, but what other details can you give us? Talk to us about the compound itself.
So the compound itself was built by was funded and started up by two guys, Monty and Mike. Magic Mike, as they call him. And it's basically built entirely by the airsoft community. Everyone they have like build weekends whenever there's not an event. Half the airsoft community comes out and puts in a day's worth of work, and then they play the Sunday. So the town, their buildings, it's not just like your typical paintball field buildings where it's just like a square with a window and a door. It's like fully built buildings. There's the front entrance, there's a back entrance, there's like the main living room area, there's bedrooms off of it, there's windows in every room. Like, it's full building layouts. They have the full-size roads, they have checkpoints in and out of certain areas. So for a lot of their scenarios, they can like shut down certain areas so cars can't get through. They have to go around on a detour, and then you can get ambushed. They have bunkers, like dugout bunkers with sandbags built in everywhere. Some of them are big enough that you could drive the car into it and then everyone get out and get into the firefight. What else? They have a minefield in between two of the command posts, so that you can't just run out through the forest towards the other command post. You'll hit the mines. And basically the mines are like a little disc buried in the ground with just a little pin sticking up. So when you step on it, it just shoots up like powder at you. So you just get covered in like flour.
That's
so
from
that'd
be from the airsoft side of things.
Yeah,
I think they play with powders.
You know what? I like that idea. I would have no issue with that in paintball. If in terms of getting mines for a scenario game, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen them. The downside to them, honestly, it's really the only downside is
you would be a party pooper, wouldn't
you?
No,
they're expensive.
Yes,
for what they are, and like it's like $30-$40 for one. Like they're not cheap.
Is it reusable?
And that was,
they are reusable,
presumably.
You just have to find all the parts.
Because they pop and then they come up and like pop. Yeah. So
really like a Betty. Cool. Okay, I get you.
Yeah,
that is
it's cool. Just super impractical unless you like for a regular player to go and be like, I'm going to be the guy with mines, not practical. But for a field to do it, for the field themselves to be like, these are ours. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. We've talked about doing that. Like this was years ago. Rap 4 had a couple of different options, or now MCS. Mm-hmm. But a lot of paintballers at the time were very like, we don't like the idea of something shooting up under our mask. Yeah, because a lot of airsofters aren't wearing full coverage masks, and their mouths are usually exposed. So if powder goes up in front of their face, they're wearing glasses.
Yeah, they have goggles on or shooter's glasses.
If the powder gets up into your mask, it's like, I don't want to have that all inside my mask. So they never really took off.
For me, I always tell I don't like booby traps and stuff like that. I'm like, the last thing I want is a ref or a photographer to get hit with your little claymore thing, okay?
Like, you know what? I never thought of that. Some poor photographer with like $4,000 camera just like steps on something, this chalky powder just jams the gears of the lens or something.
I shouldn't be giggling because I just pictured it being Sheldon, and then you said all the gear, and my brain went, "Oh shit, Sheldon's gear." Yeah. Okay.
Sheldon would look at that serial number of that device, find out who bought it, and come find you.
And not be angry. He would just have very terse words. But I don't know if anyone's ever seen a Sheldon anything other than in a good mood, and I'm not going to will that into existence.
So I've seen those mines, and they're super neat. Like they're super cool.
Really cool.
MCS also sold one that used liquid. It was like the fill from paint.
Oh yeah, like their old grenades that you would throw, and it would just like spray out the back.
There was that. There was one. They had a claymore setup system that was like.
I seen people bringing them back, and I'm like, you're not bringing these to my games, okay? We're not doing this. I don't want to. If I'm reffing and I get hit by that claymore, you're not finding it. It's getting thrown somewhere.
I don't know. Alpha 22 is like $4,000 camera. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know the price of a camera. I assume that the camera and the gear is expensive.
Hey. Some of the lenses alone are $3,000. Like the good ones you need for speedball is like a $3,000 lens. So it's not out of the question for it to be $4,000 setup.
Which is why they have like such ridiculous like duct tape together like rain suits wrapped around the camera and trying to take photos with it. But yeah, the booby trap thing would be interesting, but also that would suck for somebody like a ref. That is cool that they have them on the field.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? Just in one specific area and everyone's map, it's all highlighted in red, and it's like minefield.
Right, it's a minefield. It's like you could cut through here, and you could maybe ambush somebody, or you're going to end up in bright pink powder.
You could crawl. You could try to diffuse it. You could be bold. You could be brave if you know how to do it.
If you step on one and you have a multi-tool, you're able to go and like cut the wire and pull it out, so it won't blow up on you. It is
who's going to this event. You should be listening to this. Like,
I'm just picturing like some poor guy like out there just like on his belly with like a wire, like with a rod, just like poking the ground as he goes looking for the mines. Like
I'm just picturing Solid Snake in like the OG Metal Gear Solid when you're crawling across the minefield and you're snatching all the mines. That's what
you're just snatching the mines, just taking the mines. Like
taking them with you and you plant them elsewhere later. You can't do that. I mean, it's not in the rule book, so no.
Scoob live streams in the chat. What's happening? He says, "What up, gang? We're talking the upcoming Operation Outlander 2 at the compound, which
it's not Electric Boogaloo, is it?
Operation Outlander 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That'll be number 3.
Yes. more ridiculousness in paintball.
Ooh.
And this does sound like it's going to be just a touch on the ridiculous side.
So
No
Cliff's saying what
tools on
happened
the
to the rules
field.
about no tools in the field.
I take exception to that. I'm allowed on fields. I'm using
I'm thinking that's more of a paintball rule, less of an airsoft rule, where the compound is 90% airsoft, and they've only just recently opened up to us filthy paintballers. I would beat the ever living hell out of whoever does that. Whoever puts
that. And by a little, I mean a lot.
Yeah,
dear urine in those mines. That's greasy. That's filthy, Mr. Burke.
Yeah.
I approve.
I approve. That's disgusting. I love it.
Yes. Want me to lie? Like, no. It's awesome.
Walk me through on the because I find a lot of MagFed games do this. I'm not a huge fan of it, but to each their own. But are you doing the whole like different classifications of marker types, and then there are different firing types and yada yada yada? Like
the only breakdowns of it is like the heavy gunner role and the shield player. They're restricted to the shield player has like a pistol, and the heavy gunner's got the box mags or a defender. But everybody else, bring what you got.
At the end of the day, it's paintball. It's paintball gun.
Yeah.
They all shoot the same. Don't matter anyways. Cool.
I don't like
box mag and
shotgun
or not shotgun shield.
Yeah, I don't like putting those restrictions on players. Like one of the biggest philosophies of the raid was I want to see how creative players could get to get the win. And then that comes to this game too. I want to see what you can bring. I had a guy show up. He had a Tipman 98. He's like, does this count as MagFed? And it's a single load. He dremeled out this side of the breach so he could put first strikes in it. And I'm like, that looks good to me, man.
Does that count as MagFed?
That's MPOG.
Homie, I've run one of those like side load 98s. Yeah. If you're running that in MagFed, respect.
Dude, somebody comes to me and goes, I've got a Tipman 98 that I side load single rounds in. Does that count as MagFed? They're like, nah, bro, that's musket.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm going to allow it.
Yeah. Give her. Like, you want to do that? Go nuts.
I'm going to be forced to accept it because that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can't let him have.
For this game, we have Pat May. He's our returning champion from last year. He's going to be the general for the red team. And he's got Bob Spicer from Unkind coming to be his XO to back him up. And their challengers this year, we originally had a player from the States, Emery Davis. He was supposed to be coming up. He was one of the bigger SAS up-and-comers down in the States. He was going to come up, but he ran into a little bit of an issue. So I'm like, don't stress. Like, this is a paintball game. Real life comes first. Like, don't worry about it.
Right.
So our boys over at 13th Monkey, Kevin, the owner of 13th Monkey, I'm pretty sure, and Sean Villy, I just call him Villy. They stepped up to be general and XO for the team. So they got started on a little bit of a back foot for recruiting in that, but I'm happy they stepped up, and I've just been plugging away to try and fill up their team.
I saw that. As soon as the word recruiting came out of his mouth, I saw that one coming. What have you got?
I got to be devil's advocate, or the shit disturber, whichever you want to say. All right. So let's say the red team's got 50 players. Blue team only managed to recruit 20. Does that mean that the red team is basically going to have 50 versus 20 the entire day? Do you balance anything, or you just say you're screwed?
I would politely ask, but at the end of the day, it's also my game, so it's my responsibility to get players there to even teams. I'm not a game host that leaves recruiting specifically up to generals, because this is my game. It's not in my eyes, they're volunteering their time to try and herd cats essentially to win a game.
Right. Right.
I know when I'm general, like it's not a day of paintball. It's kind of work.
It's not.
It really is. And I've watched MagFed generals, and my hat's off. And to do that, man, that's
I like that you found that balance where you said it's my game, it's my responsibility to get players there, because to me the idea of it's up to the generals to recruit, cool. So your game is now entirely based on a popularity contest, which means one team is screwed. They're not even going to show up.
Yeah, unless you get like two of the biggest names, you're not.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unless you get like back in the day, if you had Slim versus Wolf, you'd get a 50-50 split right down the middle, right? Like you'd have, you'd be great. But if you've got somebody like Pat May's got a name, he's known, especially in Ontario, and then you got somebody who maybe is not so well known, you're gonna run into issues. So I like the way you handled that. I like that where it's my game, my responsibility to make sure that people show up and that kind of thing. So I dig that. So you got a good balance there. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Not that I have any impact on your event.
Yeah, I don't like pushing responsibility off of anybody. I'm a pretty hardcore accountability kind of guy. So it's my game, my team puts it on. Like I'm constantly on them. I'm like, are you guys talking to players? Like I played an event the other weekend at Georgina. It was like our season opener. It was an open class game, unfortunately, but every single person, my team or the other team, if I got shot out and I saw someone had MagFed, I'm walking over. I'm like, yo, you coming out to Outlanders? Like, hit me up on Facebook. Let's go. And they're like, are you serious? Like, I just shot you. You're going to come try and recruit me for a game? I'm like, yes.
Why not? What more proof do I need that you play MagFed?
Yeah.
You hitting me with the MagFed. Like, come on, bro. Figure it out.
Especially nowadays, like I notice a lot of the younger players coming in, the newer guys, most people don't have Facebook anymore. Like a lot of the younger guys don't have Facebook. Some of them have Instagram. A lot of them don't. They're on like Snapchat or whatever else. I don't know what they have.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh God.
I'm just waiting for the next big thing so I can start podcast. That one fresh.
Yeah.
Creep show. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, no, that's actually a big thing. And that's where we last week we were talking with the folks from VPL, from Virtual Paintball League, where they're in Discord and they're attracting an obscene amount of players and people. Like they got kids. Speaking of which, we're gonna be I'm gonna be there on the 24th commentating one of their events, which is I'm super excited for.
Yeah, they have a very active Discord community. You guys, anybody who's listening, the VPL does have a really good idea in terms of recruiting, because this next generation of kids, the 13-year-olds, guys, there's that 2-year dead zone about 5 years ago. There was that couple of years where they didn't go anywhere, and a lot of them got headsets and started playing virtual games over the years. I got to pick it up and play it. Okay, I can understand why this is a thing, and they have MagFed layouts. And it's really cool. So, I mean, there's an untapped resource there for MagFed players.
The big thing, too, like you said, like you're doing word of mouth, which is great. Word of mouth is classic. At the end of the day, nothing beats word of mouth, right? When you're promoting an event, promoting anything, word of mouth kicks the hell out of everything. What these guys figured out was that they had VPL, so they did virtual paintball in VR and stuff like that. And then they had a big Discord. And what they found is they had a bunch of kids who were playing VPL, playing virtual paintball, and being like, wow, this is awesome. I'm going to go play real paintball now.
Nice.
Because a lot of fields, a lot of events organizers, they're posting on Facebook, because a lot of the field owners and a lot of the event organizers are all over the age of 35, 40, right? Like, so that's what right? It's Facebook. You post on Facebook and stuff like that. And there's no kids there anymore. And it's like, we can't get kids to come to the field. I'm like, that's because you're going to the equivalent of the Legion.
Yeah.
Looking for 15-year-olds.
Yeah, you took an ad out in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Sorry,
right?
Man.
It's not going to work.
Again, the Legion, newspaper, Legion, Jesus, boys. Kids don't know what that is. Now you tell, right? Facebook has old people, and they're like, oh, that's what they're talking about. We get it. Like,
Scoob live stream saying, don't sleep on that game. This is my opinion, is valuable to pro players for training as the Formula One racers practicing with their simulators. I was going to buy a Quest 2.
I like him.
I posted in the Discord being like, yo, come chat. I was going to go buy a Quest 2 today. And then life was like, oh, you've You've got cash? No, you don't.
Goodbye. Yeah, me too.
But he will have his grubby little mitts on a headset and an Oculus fairly soon. And I mean fairly soon. As soon as I see him, he's going to use mine and try it out and go for it for a while. You'll probably use it more than I do. Because I'm old.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. But
it's but yeah, it's I love the word of mouth thing, the face, trying to recruit whatnot. So I was just sidetrack a tangent of like,
it's all good.
Like these guys cracked the code. Like they're making so many waves now. Like HK Army is sponsoring an event with real world paintball gear to whichever virtual team wins.
That's pretty sick.
Right? Like full setups. I think was it HK or Carbon is doing like head to toe. Everything's all soft gear or something. I can't remember which one it is. I'd have to go look. So clearly something out there is working. Tides are shifting. So hopefully, I don't know. Nice little tidbit. Take that with what you will.
Time to start a Discord channel.
Hard part is promoting the Discord, man. Hard to promote the Discord. It's like, hey, come find this Discord. Here's this very specific link you have to click on.
Just carry around the QR code. Be like, scan this. Join the Discord.
Oh shit, that's not a bad idea.
Damn it, that's a good idea. I wish I had a thought of that earlier.
Write it down.
I should have got message Sean. Sean, can I have a QR code?
Jersey? I wonder if that would work. That's an interesting concept. I like that. Like, scan my shirt. Get the Discord. Know what's happening. Yeah, I was talking to I know some airsoft players. One of them has his own Discord set up for his like little, I don't even think they're technically a team. They're just like a group of players. They've got like 30, 40 people in there. And another one I talked to, he's got 400 people in his Discord. And they were asking me questions about like doing an event at Georgina because I played there for years and years. And I was like, yeah, just like talk to Bonzi. He'll hook you up or whatever. He put a thing out for 100 players and it sold out in 2 days. Like it was done. It was filled. And I'm like 2 days? Seriously? That'd be sweet. That'd be nice to get numbers like that in 2 days. Then I'd know how many reps to bring.
Blair wants to know 43 cal allowed. Is Blair Singleton's asking 43 cal?
Of course. If you have it, I'm not going to have it. So because the compound is an airsoft field, they don't sell paint. So any paint you want to buy, you have to pre-order it through me because I'm literally buying it from Valken and bringing it myself.
Cool.
So if you have 43, I'm not going to stock it. Just bring your own. Pick it up from Tactical Sports or Tier 1.
Realistically, are they actually going to hit anything with 43 cal? Let's be honest.
A tree.
It doesn't move. Out of the barrel.
Yeah.
Mike Nicholson Jr. there has got a great idea. They make bracelets that are virtual QR codes that you can tap phones. I know exactly what he's talking about. It's they're little NFC tags. You tap the back of a phone, and it pops up. You can join right away. I'm gonna come up with something. I got ideas.
His brain is awash with ideas.
Yes.
I didn't know about these bracelets. I'm gonna go. Here comes another.
It's
Harvey Korman GIF intensifies.
You can actually do some pretty cool stuff with the small. They're about the size of a loonie. It's a circuit board with about the size of a loonie. That some of them have have Wi-Fi enabled to them too.
What? That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. They've done some pretty cool stuff. If you look at who was it that did it last? Taylor Swift, actually. When you go in, they give everybody a bracelet. And then during the concert, they would the lighting guy could control the bracelet's colors.
That's cool.
So yeah, it would emit a signal, and they would waves would go across the crowd with the bracelets. It was pretty neat.
That's kind of big brain plays. I like that.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. And then they recycle them at the end of the. They're like, leave your bracelet, recycle it, and whatever.
Yeah.
But no, we definitely. Yeah. So there's some really cool stuff that you can do that. Ryan Russell says, how are you on refs for the event?
So far for what we have pre-registered, we're pretty good. The whole Gravekeepers team will be out there reffing and running the store table and registry table. So we got 5 refs that'll be on field right now.
If you want to do it for free, show up. You want to be a free ref, you don't want to get paid. I don't think anyone's going to complain about having an extra ref.
Nope, we never complain about free refs. Refs are expensive, and I don't even complain about it because reffing is not great.
It is not.
Especially not in MagFed, because like you just walk out of the woods and you get shot, and you're like, come on, I got the orange on.
Boys, yeah, right. Come on, guys, work with me here.
But we have pre-registration giveaways as well. Tactical Sports hooked us up like always. They have always got my back whenever I've been hosting games. All of my games for the last 4 years, they've always sponsored us, always backed us. So for this one, everyone that registers, I've got two $50 gift certificates for Tactical Sports. I know they're still building their website, but if you need anything, you can message them on Facebook, call them, email them. They'll tell you if you have it, and they will ship it to you. And you can give them the code over the phone. You can use the gift cards over the phone, over email, anything like that. I also picked up a couple drones because I do allow drones to be used in this event because aerial recon is insane. And I saw it in another game. I think it was an airsoft event. And it was nuts to see, like, you see the guy on his little screen, he's flying around. I'm terrible at flying them. I've crashed 2 of them and I just won't touch the controller anymore. I don't know how players are, like, how people are so good at flying these things. I had it in the air, the wind took it, and it was gone. I was like, okay, see ya.
I think the really expensive ones do a lot of the flying for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Then there's like the FPV drones where that's just the F1 of the sky. Like you've got to have the skill.
Yeah. So I picked up 2 drones for pre-registration giveaways. So if you win one of those drones, I'm going to do the giveaways the day before. I'm going to charge up all the batteries for the controller and the drones themselves. So if you win it, you can use it the next day at the event. You can pick it up at the registry table. I just want to put on cool games. Like,
I love that.
I want to give players the tools they need to have fun and to do crazy stuff. And if you crash it on the field, you won it anyway. It was free. Who cares?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, folks, go pre-register so that you can smash your drone at the event.
Yeah, right into a wall or a tree, whatever you want.
Whatever, smash it up. It's your free drone, but he's going to give away an item before the event. You don't see that often, so you definitely want to pre-register and get something free before the show. Like, why wouldn't you? Madness, I tell you.
And right now, I cut the prices of everything as far as I could. So like entry right now, pre-register price entry is $65. Bag of graffiti is $45. Graffiti case is $100 flat, and bring your own first strikes is $25.
That is
instead of everybody's at $35-$30, and I'm like, yeah,
that is not bad for a box of graffiti.
Yeah,
out in the middle of nowhere on an airsoft field delivered to you.
Also, that's in the face of possible paint price increase because of tariffs. So,
get your paint now, kids.
It may be a zero-sum game for paint sales, which is fine. Don't really care about that, to be honest. I've never been in paint sales. I've always been at a field where they're selling their own paint, so I've never had a hand in it. Just please don't let me go negative. Oh, please, government, don't kill me.
Boy, kids, don't let your boy go negative. Help him out.
Pre-registration giveaways, it's going to close on May 24th, and also prices will go up May 24th. So cases are going to go to 110. Entry is going to go to 75. I'm just trying to incentivize you to pre-sale so I can hire refs and make sure I have enough paint for you, because I have to put in an order with enough time for it to be delivered and then for me to go pick it up and then bring it to the field. So please register. Help me out.
Yeah.
Oh no, God, please, please whore your event away. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, no,
we're here to get our people's events out and noticed. This weekend is SNL Paintball for Kids in Nova Scotia, which is a great event. It's a great field. Vic is a fantastic fellow. It's a very worthwhile cause. It always is. So go out there, support a little bit. Who else?
Heck yeah.
There's going to be more events, I'm sure, that we're going to think of as the night goes on, as I sit here and drink my coffee. But pimp your events in the chat.
Yeah.
Chat
Mike's asking,
and your
how's
event.
graffiti been this year? How's everyone's graffiti shooting? I haven't shot any yet this year, so I can't comment.
Fine.
I've heard
Graffiti.
one person have complaints for graffiti, but I
there's
think
always
it was
one
like
person.
I think it was like the Fields last year's graffiti. They were trying to move it out first.
That's one thing that always bugs me when people are like, man, graffiti's garbage or GI's garbage. I'm like, no, all paint, like realistically, GI and Vulcan both make good paint.
Yeah.
They both make great paint. What's happening is odds are your field is giving you paint that either hasn't been rotated or stored properly. It might be last year's. So don't blame the brand because it wasn't stored properly. Now, I find graffiti, it's not that it's bad, but it always kind of makes me nervous. It's like I don't know how they do it, but they pack their paint tighter than any other company. Like the box it comes in is physically smaller than GI's. And I'm always like, if you look at it, you'll see it's significantly smaller and they pack the paint out like tighter. Everything always seems to be okay. But I'm always just like it's never been bad, but I open it and every time I'm like, oh, it's gonna be bad this time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a little too tight.
It might be better because nothing's bouncing around in there to get smashed.
Well, I'm wondering if that's kind of their logic, or if they're able to fit like one extra case per layer or two extra cases per layer on a pallet or something because of the reduction in size. Yeah. It's an economics thing. It seems to be fine. 9 times out of 10, yes, you will always come across a bad case of paint, but that does not matter what brand you buy, unless you're buying it from Walmart, in which case it will always be a bad case of paint.
And you should feel bad about buying it. Now, if it's your your hopper, you're going to test your gun out back of your yard. Go for it.
Still don't buy the garbage paint from Walmart.
Gonna shoot your little brother with it. No, don't buy paint from Walmart. Buy it from your local field. You cheap.
Yeah. That $20 case is going to cause hundreds of dollars in repairs. Okay, don't shoot this.
It'll also probably stain everything.
Ugh,
gross. So we got about 14. Wait, hold on now.
14 minutes. Why are you announcing 14 minutes? We got lots of time.
Got tons of time. A big thing for this
one clock is telling me we got 10 minutes. So I'm not sure which clock we're going to follow.
Screw them. We'll go over.
So with this field, the staging area is a bit of a trek onto the field, which is why they did that kind of on purpose. So there'd be like no netting or anything to take you out of like immersion factors for the airsoft guys.
Cool.
But they have a couple trailers there. Like when we played a super soft day last year, they like loaded us and our gear on the flatbed trailers and just like trailered us out. That was going to be one of my plans for the raid. I had 2 flatbed trailers in my truck and my dad's truck all lined up. We were going to load up all the squads in the trucks and the trailers and just drive them to their spawn points all the way around the field and then drive off and then start the game. But didn't get enough players for that one. Everyone's hurting this year.
MagFed's a little tough this year. It's a little tough right now for good old MagFed, but it'll come back. Everything
always
comes back, baby. Everything comes back.
Everything will come
back. That's why we're still pushing. We just keep going.
I think so. We got about let's say we got about 12 minutes left. Let's pick the brain of somebody who's heavily involved in MagFed, whereas me and King here tend to be. Well, I used to be dedicated 100% MagFed, and now I've become more of a tourist.
All right,
that's a throwback with social medias. And
I keep my MagFed gun my MagFed marker is sitting over there. It's ready to go. I just need the right event to make myself available.
I've got the TGR2. I've got the T15.
They're ready to go. We just need to. This sounds like an event. Maybe very sexy.
Now you just need an EMF 200.
I will not.
Fancy. My TMC will fire round ball just as fine as anyone else's, and if I can shoot with that, it's your own fault.
I won't shoot. Now, okay, let me rephrase this. If somebody shows up one day and just goes, "Here, have this Planet Eclipse marker," I will take it.
That's how I got a Geo.
Right?
That's how I got a Geo 4.
I will not go out and buy Planet Eclipse for the sole reason. The only reason is because I'm a Cruncharian and too many people are shooting Planet Eclipse. Therefore, I don't want to.
I thought you said a cruncharian, and I was really confused, right? Just a split of a second. Contrarian.
My nose is all plugged up. So I'm messed up here. Yeah. So anyway, MagFed, do you think
our other sponsor, Cat?
People keep talking about like MagFed's dead, MagFed's dying, yada yada yada. They've been saying that for 10 years. When I started playing MagFed was dying. Yeah. Paintball's been dying since 1983. Like it's like. Do you see the future is bright? Do you see him coming back, especially with markers like the EMF 200?
I think eventually it's going to come back for sure. I think the last couple years we were very like event heavy and saturated, and as the prices keep increasing and there hasn't been much in the ways of making things like first strikes, they're just getting more and more and more expensive. Yeah. There hasn't been really any innovation, although I have seen another company making their own like shaped projectiles.
Yeah, the German company.
Yeah, apparently they're not great right now, but also, like, I'm excited to see where it goes. So. Yeah, and it's half the price, which I'm happy to see that, because maybe it'll force a little competition and force the prices down a little bit. But I think that's the biggest thing is people play MagFed, they want to shoot the first strikes. That's why they bought the MagFed markers, and it's just getting expensive along with everything else in our life. So I think I made the comment the other day to somebody. I was like, MagFed's just in a little recession right now. It's going to come back. It's just in a bit of a down. It's going to not flatline, but it'll go down and down, and then it's going to come right back up. Like when
MagFed needs to tear of speedball.
When I first started playing MagFed, was the summer before COVID hit, like 2019.
Yep.
And I was all hyped up. MagFed was massive. It was huge. COVID hit, kind of died. The summer after it, the lockdowns lifted. It was slow. It was kind of building back. And then 2021, 2022, 2023, it was huge. There was events like every other weekend, all MFOGs. I started hosting events. A couple of my raids, like 2 weeks after posting and going live, like they were sold out completely. It was huge. And then over the last year and a half, you see players kind of drop off and they're like, oh, I'm too busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm trying to get this promotion. I got a family now. I get it. I got a 6-month-old and a 4-year-old. Like, I get the family thing. It's been tough to find time for paintball. So I think a lot of people are just, a lot of the guys I was playing with are in like probably in their mid 20s to early 30s now, just like me. I'm in my early 30s. And they're just like in that transition phase of life where they're like trying to figure out their stability, like their baseline, and then paintball comes back. It's just that.
I can attest to that. Like my daughter is now 2, and I feel more comfortable. Not more comfortable. I feel less guilty going out now.
Yep.
Where before it was like I felt guilty going out and going out paintballing, and now it's a little bit more like, okay, I need this.
I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for a long time for this, because I started the MagFed thing the year after Rona, and I was hearing all the stories of how awesome it was, and then it was pretty good. I played a couple really cool events, and then it kind of died off. So it would be fun to see it come back.
If there was it kind of like the bubble burst, you know what I mean? Like MagFed grew, and it was like it grew and it grew and it grew, and like you said, there was a MagFed only game like every weekend. And I'm wondering if maybe there's an oversaturation, an overexposure, and people were like, wow, I'm bored of this now. And the bubble popped, and a lot of them moved over to speedball or just regular woods ball running hopper stuff like the EMAC and whatnot. And they did that for a change. And instead of it being a, wow, we have way too much MagFed, let's tone it down a little and let's meet in the middle. Everything swung to the other side. You had no MagFed. You had a ton of woods ball and a ton of speedball. And now that's starting to come back a little bit. Maybe we're like, we're eventually going to like come to the middle. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna balance out.
I think 2022 or 2023, I hosted 4 events that year, and it was like sell out. Like I was like, holy smokes, like this is just going and going. Appreciate that, Andrew. And once I saw that like one of my games didn't sell out, I didn't sell all the team spots, I was like, okay, it's time to take it back. Took a complete year off of hosting events, just played events, talked to players, got a feel for it, and then came back this year. Took 2024 off. We're coming back 2025. The raid didn't sell out, unfortunately. Had to cut it because to host at the compound, you have to pay for 100 players no matter what. That's their minimum, because airsoft games are like 4 to 1,000 players. Like, it's insane. So for them, their baseline, if you want a weekend, you have to bring at least a minimum of 100 players, which I get it. If you could have this game that's going to bring 50 people or 800 people, as a field owner, you're going to go for the 800 people for 100%,
sure. 100%. That's just business, baby.
Yeah. So I think a little recalibration was needed this year. We're coming back, only 2 events. We did it right at the beginning of the year because I knew Honey Badger. I was talking to Adam because Tier 1 is one of my sponsors as well. I was asking him, I'm like, when are you hosting? Because I don't want to be too close. I don't want to have like back-to-back MagFed games, because then one of the games is going to do poorly compared to the other. And he's like, oh, we're going in fall. We're going in the fall. And I'm like, all right, I'm going in the spring. We're going season openers.
Andrew there's got, like you said, MagFed events. People like Beaver bringing back What's Cool About It, promote when they're playing MagFed and that kind of thing. Something I'd love to see, really, I would love to see happen more, is MagFed players playing regular days of paintball. Yes. Don't hold out for the MagFed only game. I knew a couple of guys that they would only play if it was only MagFed. If there was a hopper in sight, they didn't go. And I knew other guys who it was even further, was if it was a MagFed only game and they weren't allowed to shoot first strikes, nope, not going. So they would end up playing twice a year. Yeah. Because they had such a specific requirement for their event. So I'd love to see more MagFed players get out there and play with the regulars, play with the speedballers, go to walk-on days. The amount of players that I got to buy MagFed gear just from playing walk-ons. Right. Also, you're going to get better. Like, if you play MagFed against MagFed all the time, don't get me wrong, MagFed players are, well, I mean, I made a t-shirt that said MagFed players are terrible at paintball. But what I'm saying is, if you play only MagFed against MagFed, you're eventually going to get yourself into a rut. But when you step on a paintball, like a speedball field, or step on a woods ball field with speedballers, and suddenly you're like, oh, I have to think a little faster. I got to move a little quicker, and I got to move a little bit differently. And it's just going to sharpen your skills. So get out there and don't just limit yourself.
Those scary, aggressive MagFed players are so much fun to run into now.
Which is hilarious because,
haha, MagFed player, I got a hopper. You're getting thumped, and they're fast and they're accurate because they've got, at best, 18 shots in the mag. So they got to make it count. And they're like, the only one that's worse are pump players.
Yeah. Well, even the event I just played the other weekend, it was a complete open class game. I was the XO for the event. I didn't even have a marker. I went out with a riot shield and a pod pack filled with paint just for the speedballers on the front line. I'm like running up with the shield and they're just like lighting me up. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're going back to spawn. Let's do this again. Well, we can do better next time.
Right.
Oh, but that's one part of open
class. I had a huge leap forward in my skill set because I met a guy. His name was Mike. He's like, I think he's D3 now, but when I met him, he was a D4 player, speedball player. And he just showed me like just the little snap shooting tricks. And I'm like,
snap shooting works with MagFed gear.
I used to snap shoot people with like my bolt action SAR 12. I'd be like,
I did that. I tried doing that with
the, and I'm like, I don't know, man. We just go
with
for
the
exactly
the first strike scout. I had to do that where it was like I was behind a bunker and I was like okay, but
if you go back and forth from style to style, inevitably you're gonna have that crossover of skills. MagFed players stop and think for a half second, and then make the move, whereas a speedball player is going to go balls to the wall. But that speedball player is going to have those little tricks that they do that we can take back and forth. That's what's
100%.
That's when you see really, really talented players, is the guys that can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
How we doing?
For sure.
How we doing, Bradley? Check the clock.
Ended there, actually. So, Beaver, thanks for coming on, chatting about your event, talking about MagFed in general. And thanks for, absolutely, man. And good luck with your event. For everyone who's in the comments, liking, chatting, sharing, all that jazz, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And please, folks, come find us on the other socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. And you can find our Discord link in the show notes, in the show description. So go check that out. Come join us in the Discord. And, of course, keep an eye out. Virtual Paintball League on Twitch on Saturday, May 24th. I forget the time. I will be on there doing color commentary for their event. Very excited for that. So it's going to be a good time. But that's it, folks. We're out of here. It's been a blast. Until next week. Cheers.
Doodles.